All the wins. Or toe wins,
The
whatever.
wins. All the wins, man. All to
Yeah.
wins, all the wins, all the wins.
Is that like some random meme that I don't get? Because
It's
I
like
don't.
internet speak. When when you
Uh,
have like a typo with the, it comes out
yeah.
ta. Yeah,
TEH. Yeah.
yeah,
I got that.
yeah. That's basically what it is. And let's go ahead and introduce our players now. Spawning in the bottom right as the orange Zerg, who is the blue Zerg if you switch to the other view. So I'm not quite sure which one our observer is on, but he is representing IvD Gaming. He is IvD Warbio.
Oh, yeah.
And his opponent in the top left. He's red in the one view, he's green in the other. But no matter what color he is on the screen, he is representing LaG Gaming, LaG Believe.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think we're using red and blues just because that is the team colors. IVD being blue and leg mostly red. It's like red, white, and black, but red is the most prominent color. Here we see Believe is going to be scouting pretty early here, right after his 9 pylon.
It's quite amazing the way that works out, actually, if you look at that, because the colors for IVD being blue and white, so both teams being the colors that match their teams. That is quite awesome.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to do that with the normal colors, but just never ended up actually picking. So I think it should be like that for the rest of the series here. Hoping so. It's always nice when you see it, all nice and mesh.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now, we do have Believe moving up here into the main base of Warbio. He's going to be able to scout out the spawning pool that was put down here at 14. Pretty standard, nothing too serious. Believe going to be able to just back off and try to deny this base from going up.
Yeah, he should be able to deny this for at least a little while. Warbio is bringing 2 drones, though, so he really wants to get this hatchery down as soon as possible. The probe really can't stay too long versus this, and I imagine he's going to leave right as soon as he takes some hull damage. And there we go.
Almost able to put that down. There it goes. He is finally going to get the hatchery down. That was about 20 seconds late. So a 20-second delay here for Believe, not bad at all. For those of you who do not know, the reason why I say a 20-second delay is a perfect 14-16 results in a hatchery at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So 20 seconds would put that hatchery at 3 minutes. Not a bad move at all for Believe. Really nice control there on his probe. Meanwhile, he is taking his own expansion and putting up a gateway, but he doesn't have a cannon started yet. There it goes. It is going to start right now.
Yeah, this should be done in time. I can't really imagine too much damage being done by these lings. If Believe has to, he can throw down a pylon to finish this wall off and then just wait for the cannon to finish. It does happen a lot when you're kind of going for a really quick nexus and then the gateway before the cannon. But it's not a big deal because you only lose 25 minerals and you get that base so much faster. But actually, these lings are going to make it in first, and no wall off goes off, I believe. So 6 lings make it into the main.
Not a single ling is injured here. These lings are going to force the probes off the mineral line inside the main. Believe trying his best to deal with this. One of the lings does fall, but he's losing valuable mining time here. And these lings are still in the base.
Yeah, I actually heard that it's about 1 mineral a second for each probe. So Believe just lost a bunch of money there. And Marcus, during this, is just taking his third. So he's completely fine.
He certainly is. He knows exactly what his opponent's up to. Taking that third is actually a really good move here. Now he's killing off probes.
Wow.
And of course these lings, they should be able to be cleaned up here by Believe. He has what he needs to do it. But these lings have already by far paid for themselves.
Yeah, already 4 workers killed here for Warbio. So he's definitely doing a great job. He's still got 3 lings alive. And if he has good control, which I'm pretty sure that he does, he can keep them alive for quite some time. Actually picks up another probe there. Doing a great job with these Zerglings. Really impressed.
Really, really great job as he is going to take the supply lead with this. 33 supply to 26 with his third going up. Absolutely wonderful play out of IvD Warbio. That is going to put Believe a little bit behind here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Warbio's already ahead in workers. Usually it takes a little bit longer for the Zerg to get to the worker lead, so it's pretty nice for him already being 2 up. And, he's also able to tech very, very safely. He's already got 1 gas going. I assume this is just going to be for speed, and then he might throw down a roach worm, but I can't really see him making roaches until either the 4-gear pressure comes from Believe if that's what he chooses to do, or, you know, he's going for roach speed plus infestors, which would be really weird.
Alright. Now it do look like we have Believe wanting to expand, meanwhile throwing a Zealot into the third of IvD Warbio. This is going to be spotted by Warbio. He doesn't have anything out to deal with this, and it's going to grab some drone kills of his own.
Yeah, this is a bit of a mistake here by Warbio. You definitely need at least some kind of map vision. You don't have to make the lings right away, but you need to know if your opponent's going to be attacking. So the Zealot kills one drone, it's chasing these other two down. I don't really think it's going to get one of them. It almost got one, but a little bit of miscontrol there, but Believe makes it so he does not get that kill.
Oh, and this Zealot is going to be kited down to its last inch of health. Going to be forced to retreat here, but the lings coming in from the side, are they going to catch it? No, they're not, but they might chase it all the way to the Zelnaga. Maybe even grab a kill off that.
I think with some good micro, the Zealot will probably take out one of these lings, but it's for sure going to die. And now, no, it won't be scaling either of them. It definitely just dies there. Not really for free. It got good scouting. He saw the third, so he knows there's no crazy 2-base all in. He killed one drone and damaged 2 others, forced them to stop mining. So that's kind of nice there. I think he also delayed the inject. The Queen was attacking the Zealot instead of injecting. So a little bit of energy, not really wasted, but built up there that Warbio does not want. And during this attack, you know, Believe is just taking his third. He's got 2 gateways situated at the top of that ramp, a cannon behind it to keep it nice and safe.
You know, this is actually really good play from both players, but Warbio still somewhat in the lead here. Believe gonna be responding with a Twilight Council. We could see, what is it, Blink on the way here. Blink Stalker early game. I am loving this.
Yeah, I expect this is going to be some kind of 3-base attack. You can go for like really expansion heavy play on this map as a Protoss, but your 4th is kind of risky just because there's no actual walls or ramps or anything that keeps it safe. After you get that 4th, you know, your 5th is pretty easy, and we see a bunch of lings here actually going to go up and pressure Believe. He's not walled off, so they get into the main. Will he wall off the main or into the natural? Well, now they run into the main.
Oh, he's got some lings that are in the main, but they're going to be picked off by these sentries. The rest of the lings going to be trapped here by this wall at the third. Nothing done here, actually. The lings are just going to be picked off.
Yeah, this is a bit of a mistake by Marcus. He definitely should not have attacked into that wall. Even with just, you know, 1 sentry warped in, or maybe 2, to force field those gateways off, he's just losing lings. He didn't get through the shields on those gateways, so not the best move, but, you know, he's got some good scouting off. He got lings into the main, and he has a good idea of what's going on.
Pretty sure he was able to see exactly what his opponent was up to going for that blink, but he also saw the third, which is going to give him the green light to take his 4th. Not a bad move, but I'm not quite sure if he's going to have the time to respond to the 8 gateways that are coming up now for Believe.
Yeah, this is just going to be a super strong timing here. Probably even going to get +3 attack if he can. Might just hit with +2. That would still be very powerful considering that Warbio here has already started his Spire. He's got his Hive on the way, so it's just going to be straight up to Broodlords off of 4 base. And he's taking his 5th, but it's going to be a little harder to hold versus timing like this. I think Believe is going to do a lot of damage here. I do like that Warbio is patrolling these links, but I wish that he would split them up a little bit more just to make sure he catches the units no matter what.
And here goes the engagement here for Believe. He looks like he is wanting to move out now.
Yeah.
Not a really large army, but it doesn't have to be large right now. He just needs to have those gates up in time, and there are 2 more in production, and they're going to be done soon. Meanwhile, we have a Ling run by up here at the third, but they're going to immediately fall back as this army from Believe is pushing its way towards Warbio's 4th.
Yeah, Warbio looks like he's in some trouble here. 11 gates are out right now for Believe. That is a lot of production to deal with as a Zerg, who hasn't really been making much for units. He's got a couple infestors on the way. He's going to be up to 2, but I'm not even entirely sure if Pathogen Glands is done yet. It is, so they will have 2 fungals. That's not enough to deal with this big of an army here, and we already see the 4th going down now for Warbio.
Oh, and this is looking like such a menacing army out of Believe. It did pick off the 4th here, as now an Infestor is out of position, but Believe is not going to be able to go in on it. Even using up a blink there, but
wasn't quite able to pick it up, yeah. Bit of a wasted force field there by Believe, but you know what? No big deal. He's got quite a few sentries. No, 6 right now, almost all of them with full energy, so many force field. I don't think he's actually going to go over to this 5th and deny that, but it might be better choice to attack into the 3rd anyway.
Oh, and this is not a great position for Believe to be in, but the force field's gonna make it all worth it.
Yeah.
As now this army is going to gain a better hold.
One big problem here for Believe is he doesn't have any observers out, so no detection means these burrow roaches and infestors can do a lot of damage. I think Warvio's out of fungals now. He's got one more infestor about to pop, but with just a lot of roach production and good burrow micro, he could do quite a bit of damage here. Believe has muscled his way into the third now, though. This is going to be so hard to hold off.
That is a huge army this early in the game. Already 158 supplied to 113, and this army is doing so much damage.
Yeah, good force fields there to trap some more roaches. Weren't quite burrowed by Warvio, so he wasn't able to save them. God, it's like 158 supplied to just to 90. This is really tough for Warvio. He's going to need the most masterful bungles of all time.
Yes, he definitely is. In fact, this is going to be extremely difficult for him to hold. He doesn't have enough energy to use fungal, and those infestors are going to get picked off. There's not enough here to defend.
Yeah, the hive is finished now, but no greater spire on the way. Some drones actually being pulled out of the main by Warvio to try to hold this off. These blink stalkers are just doing so much damage, though. They only have +2 attack, no defense upgrades, no shields, obviously. Now the drones are here to surround this stalker, but it can just blink out. It's really all the damage that looks like it's going to get done. 60 display to 180. I don't think this is going to happen for Warvio.
I don't think it is either. Warvio is in such a hard position right now, as it looks like all he has is a meager force of 6 roaches coming up here. But
yeah,
compared to the huge army of floods of stalkers, 41 stalkers, 14 zealots, and 4 sentries, this is just not going to hold.
No. This is game over, guys. We're going to see GT here in a moment. Warvio kind of got a little aggressive, lost blings, maybe not quite how he should have. Even with that awesome scout he had, though, he just wasn't able to kill this army off when it came over. And GG, there it is. So LaG's going to go up 1-0. Lead taking his first kill today.
What a great game here. Great play out of both players, but Believe with such a strong early aggression push that you don't see a whole lot. It's just really early third into a very powerful push.
Yeah. And you know what? I just got confirmation. Believe is actually in high school, so he's pretty young.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of potential there. Already has at least 2 Grandmaster accounts, so very, very good player. I think that's it for this game, though, and we need to just find out who IvD is going to send out next. That is Marcus's choice. So as far as I know, we're just going to play some music. Do you have anything else to say, Josiah? Or Rob?
Well, of course, I've got to plug all the places that you can go see more, learn more, and all that great stuff. Go ahead and check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and at IvDgaming.com. You can also check out LaG at LagGaming.net. LaG 2, what is it? Yeah, LaG 2.0 Gaming on Facebook, at LagSC2 on Twitter, and Muataran TV, really?
Yeah, I don't know the actual LaG channel, but I'm going to be uploading a bunch of LaG stuff there, so we just needed something, or Ben wanted something, so it was symmetrical, so I just gave him that.
Alright, well, guys, don't go anywhere, as we'll be back with some more exciting IvD versus LaG Gaming games right after this musical break.
If there's no beauty in your soul, well, girl, it's my guess. If you redefine success, you might find what you keep searching for. Don't get perspective on your assets, baby. They'll soon become your liabilities. You think it's all about you, girl, you don't have a clue. You can't see the forest for the trees. Ain't that superficial? Why you gotta act a fool? Just cause you drive a big fancy car, baby, that don't make you cool. Ain't that superficial? Looks don't count for much when your beauty fades and you find that a human touch. Ain't that superficial? Ain't digging on all that attitude. I don't care which side of town you're from. I'm not impressed with your diamond Karen dress. Why don't you put that thing back on? Don't get perspective on your assets, baby. They'll soon become her clothes or who she knows. Behind the beautiful smile, she's got to have style. Ain't that superficial? Why you gotta act a fool? Just 'cause you drive a big fancy car, baby, that don't make you cool. Ain't that superficial? Looks don't count for much when your beauty fades and you find out a human touch. Ain't that superficial? Ain't that superficial? You don't have to worry about me calling you anymore. Thinking about what to say if I showed up at your door. Not anymore. I know I gotta try to put you out of my mind. I make it through the days okay, but it's always so much harder late at night with no end in sight. They say that time will heal the heart and I'll forget it all. How I wish that were the case. But it's been 29 days since you left me out here in the cold. 29 days since the last time I saw your face. 29 days to get used to sleeping here alone. Since you left without a trace. 29 days. I remember all the nights with your body next to mine. To taste your kiss and see.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the IvD Gaming versus LaG Gaming Clan War. I'm your host here, IvD HK Rob, and joining me here is LaG's very own Muataran. Muataran, we have APOC against
Yeah.
LaG Believe.
So APOC has decided he's going to be here, which is always good because I don't want to say it, but man, it'd be a little bit imbalanced if he wasn't here. Him and Yoda are kind of the backbone of IvD, and without them, it's just not as good of a team. I'm really glad they're here now, though, or at least APOC is. I'm not sure if Yoda is. Do you know?
Actually, from what I know, from what I understand, no, Yoda is not present at the moment. But
Okay.
APOC is here, and we'll have to see if he's going to be able to beat the 1-0 Red Protoss in the top right, representing LaG Gaming, Believe. And in the bottom left, of course, just coming in the nick of time, he is the Blue Terran, representing IvD here, but also goes by It's Gosu and Quantic APOC. He is APOC. And yes, he is the real APOC.
The real APOC,
The real APOC.
as opposed to the fake APOCs. I'm not sure who they are, though. Do you know? Have you met them?
I haven't met any fake APOC.
There's four of them, apparently.
There's wow, really?
Yeah, that's
Four
crazy.
fake APOCs.
That is, it's quite a few. Maybe they're just different accounts of Apocalypse. We'll never know. Is it Apocalypse or is it just APOC?
I think it's just. I think it is Apocalypse, actually.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
actually have seen it on Zeke, where his name shows up as Apocalypse.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I always thought it was Apocalypse, and then people called him APOC. I'm like, all right, why not, man? Let's get into this game here. We see pretty much normal stuff. Gasless expand is what it looks like from APOC, and then looking so far like a 1-gate expand. It could also be, a second gas turned down by Believe, but I kind of doubt that's going to happen. Maybe he goes for that meta blink all in on the worst map for it just because Terrans aren't expecting it.
Well, going into this game, I would be a little afraid being believed, to be honest. As good of a player as he is, he's not on, like, he's not at a professional level, I don't feel like. He hasn't really qualified, he hasn't at least tried to qualify for Code A, whereas APOC, he has gone through the qualification for Code A. He didn't quite make it, but even still, he's going up against a very powerful player. So this is going to be a very tough match for Believe. Well, at the same time, Believe just took out Warbio.
Yeah.
So he is looking very powerful early game here, so APOC could be a little nervous as well.
Yeah, and, actually, I have a replay of Believe taking out Scarlet, so definitely don't underestimate him. He's very good. I think you're kind of right, though. APOC is maybe just a little bit better. Obviously, you're talking about Code A. That's kind of pretty big, to actually go to Korea. He didn't lose right away either. He actually won a few games as far as I know. So that's a pretty big deal, man. Winning a couple games in a Code A qualifier, those are very competitive.
They are indeed. Now, this is something a little interesting. A bunker was being put up there for APOC, but just to deny an early expansion, it seems like. Now, Zealot running in from Believe is going to scout that this expansion has gone down and immediately back off. And what is his response to this going to be? What do you think?
It's going to be, I already know, man. It's a Twilight. It's been down for a little while. I'm thinking, like, DTs because there's no gateways that have been added on yet. But then again, and also, oh, sorry, there we go. I was going to say there's no second gas, though. No, I'm completely wrong. There's been a second gas for a little while here. So he's got a second gas. He's also expanding. So a DT expand is actually quite good in this matchup. If your opponent forgets the turret at the front, they can just die to it. And if they don't just die to it and they forgot the turret, they're probably going to take a lot of damage anyway. And there it is. The Dark Shrine goes down for Believe.
Ooh. Now that is a very scary thing. The Dark Shrine, early game like this, rushing for Dark Templar is just such a viable move in really any matchup. The thing is if it's not scouted right away, it's going to be very difficult for APOC to deal with it because he's probably not going to be able to put up a turret really early like this. We'll have to see what is going to happen. The SCV is going to be picked off before it gets in there. Very nice micro from Believe with that Stalker.
APOC didn't actually see the Nexus there, so he's playing a little bit blind. Given that information, him moving out is actually a little bit risky. Obviously, if it was a 4-gate, it would have hit a while ago. Well, not too long ago, but it would have hit already. But, like a blink all-in wouldn't have hit yet, and having these Marines away from your base just makes them so vulnerable to an attack like that. Luckily for him, there is no, big blink stalker attack, but there is a pylon that's already been proxied, and that Dark Shrine is dangerously close to finish.
Yes, and he's not going to be able to get across the map in time to actually deal with this, as the pylons have gone down.
Yeah.
And APOC not doing anything about it yet, but that probe is going to get away with just one shot of health left. Then it's going to get picked off by a Marine at the Selnaga Tower. But APOC still doesn't know about the Dark Templar that are right now moving into his natural.
He's going to take so much damage. He's got no scans right now. The closest one is 23 energy. 41. So he's almost got a scan. But he's got no scans and no turrets. So absolutely no detection right now. And if these DTs are split up, the 2 scans won't even be enough to kill them all. This is going to do so much damage. APOC's in some trouble.
Oh, but is he going to get the stem? Is he going to get it? No, the stem does not complete, as the Dark Templar were able to do quite a bit there.
Oop.
Now the scan does go down
scan goes
here,
down, yeah.
And Dark Templar, the 2 of the Dark Templar are going to die off, but there are more.
Yeah, there's one more, and 2 more just warped in, so again, going up to 3, and as long as they're split up for the scan, oh my god, they're all stacked together. 2 of them run out of vision of that scan, though, so very well played there by Believe, and APOC's actually forced to lift off his command center. This is a huge deal. And during this, especially considering that Believe's taken a 3rd. This DT's not going to kill some Marines, but the turret there is definitely going to give some vision. So I think this is all the damage Believe's going to get out of this. But he's already up in supply. Like I said, he's got that 3rd going down. I really love this move by Apocalypse. He's a little bit behind. He knows. He's like, okay, I got to take this 3rd really quickly. Really risky if it's scouted, but if not, it can get you right back into this game.
That is actually a really, really good move out of APOC. Now with the Marines moving across the map, it looks like he's going to want to put some pressure of his own. But the question is he going to have enough to put that pressure? Two Dark Templars still camping outside of his base. This is going to be a little difficult for him to deal with. But we'll have to see how this turns out. He looks like he is going to spot this forward pylon and pick it off immediately. Not a bad move at all, as he needs to get those forward pylons taken care of before they get out of hand, but he does not know about the one just outside of his natural. Of course, Believe, which has expanded to his third, is not really in a position to defend this right away, and we have an Archon being morphed to try and be prepared for it.
I kind of wish he just sent single DTs. I feel like that would have been a little bit better of a move, just so you can slow down that army. 4 scans. This is just Marine, and they don't have combat shields because it was canceled, so they're one-shot by those DTs without any armor upgrades. You know, they do have that +1 combat, or +1 weapons. Here we go, now DT's coming in, so he's going to force out that scan. It goes off. This Archon's still going to do so much damage, and a second DT is still alive as well.
Oh, that DT is going to get picked off, but now APOC does know about his opponent's third base.
Oh, God. Yeah, just look at the supply, man. 72 to 43. This game's getting kind of rough.
This game indeed is getting rough, but now there's actually a hidden Dark Templar here in the natural of APOC. But what Believe does not know about is APOC's third base here hidden in the top left corner of the map.
Yeah, that third base can actually, like, that's APOC's last chance. If that's not scouted for long enough and he gets back into the game with it, then I definitely think he still has a chance. Oh my god, this DT is going to come in and kill 3 SCVs, 4 SCVs now, 5. He's getting so many kills. And there's no detection behind the mineral, so it's going to force another scan or a turret.
This is just such a powerful opening here for Believe, making APOC, or putting APOC on edge the entire time. We'll have to see what is going to happen here. We have some Marauders now coming into play for APOC, and the turret is going to finish up, and here goes the DT going to be picked off.
Yeah.
Right as it was trying to get out of there.
Yeah, so, I mean, he loses that DT. I think that was his last one. Yeah, there's no more DTs. There's 2 Archons out right now. But, I mean, that build did a lot of damage. Looking at workers killed, Believe is up to 17. His worker lead is 73 to 39, so very large.
Well,
yeah,
it looks like Believe gonna put down a pylon here and scout out this third base from APOC.
So this is really not what APOC wanted. Just working in 1 DT right now and maybe pressuring with his army, he for sure gets a couple kills at least. If not, he can do some damage in the natural. Maybe he catches the army to position. Believe can do a lot of damage here, especially since +1 armor is already finished, +2 is on the way. I believe that's +1 attack is about to finish as well, so it might be done for this fight.
Oh, here goes the push here at the 4th. 2 DTs and some zealots. Looks like 4 zealots gonna force the liftoff on that command, on that orbital command rather. As now the army pushing into the main here.
I don't know if APOC can do this. It's just so much from Believe.
A great force field does go down, as it looks like this army just doing so much damage, and APOC is not really in a good position right now.
A big drop in the main, though. There's a double drop going on right now. Very important. He's killed a bunch of workers here. Going to be focusing down some pylons, completely stopping Believe's production. Believe is pretty much at the point where he has to kill APOC with what he has now, or maybe come back with his army and try to save it. You know, these robotics are both producing immortals, but there's no chance that they get out. This is pretty nice. I really love this move by APOC.
Yes, this is indeed a really nice move, taking out one of the robos, the second robo going down, now moving into the mineral line. Everything that Believe has is running back to the base to try and deal with this, but so many workers have been killed off, and more workers are continuing to get killed off. It looks like APOC going to completely ignore the army making its way up towards his army, as he's going to pick up right away. So much damage done.
A blink there allows him to pick off one of those medevacs, so that's a pretty big deal. He did not get the one that was completely full. Would have definitely rather hit the other one, but still, killing off a medevac is very big. And also, you know, considering he's just forced the third to lift, he's killed some SCVs there, and he's still ahead in supply. I think that drop did a lot of damage. It needs to do more, though, and there's still that one medevac, like I was talking about, it's completely full. And now that Believe is moving out, he's a great chance to go back in and do that damage he needs to do.
And here goes Believe moving out once again, like you said, like you pointed out, he is moving out here. But the drop comes in here again, killing off more workers. And there's the pickup, but one of the Marines is going to be left behind, and the medevac is going to get picked off with a very beautiful blink. But here goes the army of Believe moving in towards the third, the natural rather, as APOC trying to build up what army he can to try and deal with this. This is really, really scary.
Yeah, I kind of think Believe. Okay, so there's actually an attack down at the third. That's why he's moving back. I was going to say he should go to the third there and deal with his opponents, but he needs to defend his own here. The Zealots are charging in a bit. The DTs are not being picked off, so he's going to have to scan again after this fight. Nope, there it is. The last one died, I think, there. Oh no, there's one left, still doing so much damage to this army of APOC. And looks like Believe's other units, though, are taking a lot of damage.
Oh, and it looks like this one medevac is going to get picked off, but that was not the medevac that had anything in it. This other medevac is full.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened, and it's also the second time that the most units were in the healthiest medevac. So APOC is doing a really nice job of loading those units into the correct medevac. I'm really, really impressed. You know, during all that intense micro and whatnot, he can actually do that. It's very, very hard to do. I can't do it, man. Not even close. I'm awful at Terran.
Looks like APOC gonna pick up and move out again. The army of Believe is probably gonna spot this. No, looks like he is gonna drop down on this pylon.
Yeah.
Putting himself in a pretty interesting position, but he's not gonna be able to do anything. Oh, one of the medevacs does get picked off. Losing quite a few units there.
And that one was full, man, so none of this losing just a little bit. Yeah, the third now, there's a drop by APOC, but these Blink Stalkers are going to take out the medevac. The DTs finish up the ground forces. Believe he's just doing a really nice job of keeping ahead in this game. Now APOC's trying to sneak those medevacs out while Believe pushes into his natural. 130 supply to 41. I don't know if APOC can stop this. And there it is, GG, man. Well played.
Oh, GG from APOC. Believe killing off APOC to move on to the next opponent. He is just all killing at this point. Absolutely brilliant play from both players, but Believe just showing how strong he really is. You cannot count him out, not even for a second.
Yeah, man, for sure. He's a very good player, like I was saying, and you know, like we were talking about before, he's in high school, man. How does this happen?
You know, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. But I have been just enjoying these games so far. And if you guys have been enjoying these games as well, go ahead and click the follow button on that Twitch so that you can see more of these games. Not to mention, check out IvDgaming.com, IvD Gaming on Facebook, IvD Gaming on Twitter, and IvD TV on YouTube, as all of these VODs will be uploaded on YouTube. And also check out LaG Gaming stuff. That's laggaming.net, LaG Gaming 2.0 Gaming, or not, I'm sorry, LaG 2.0 Gaming on Facebook, LaG SC2 on Twitter, and just, sure, why not, Muataran TV on YouTube, even though that's not the official LaG YouTube. They didn't actually list, give us an actual official YouTube. So, by all means, go ahead and check out both teams, whichever team that you want to check out here. We'll be right back, right after this musical break. Do not go anywhere, guys.
Getting lost on a trip to Graceland. Spent the night at the Mojo Inn. Drank too much red wine and danced to Hey 19. Looking back now I can't recall. Words said what had to fall apart. It seems so long ago. Oh, I wonder what she'd say if she knew. Sometimes I still think about you. Oh, I'm not saying we should change a single thing, but sometimes the memories start me wandering. Oh, oh, do you still sleep on that California king? Do you watch the same TV? Do you wake up at 2:45 just to tell him about your dreams? Or do you dream of me? take good care of you. Oh, I'm not saying we should change a single thing, but sometimes the memories on me wandering. Oh, oh, do you still sleep on that California king? Do you watch the same TV? Do you wake up at 2:45 just to tell him about your dreams? Or do you dream of me? Do you still sleep on that California king? Whoa, whoa, oh. Do you still sleep on that California king? Whoa, whoa. Do you still sleep on that California king? You come to me with the same old story, but how you sad cause your new man treats you bad. You get no sympathy from me, not a bit. You only dig guys that treat you like shit. Nice guys dropping like flies trying to date you. They try to get in but they can't get through, cause they don't leave you hanging by the phone feeling all alone. Now you're wondering what's wrong. So she wants a man who'll take her by the hand, give her love, try to understand her. Think again, yo. Oh, I don't think so. No, I really, really don't think so. Says she wants a man who'll always treat her right, give her love, be there every night. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't think so. No, I really, really don't think so. It's just words. If you don't back it up with action, it's just words. You settle for less and you get what you deserve. It's words. If you don't back it up with action, it's just words. You settle for less and you get what you deserve. It's getting tired of the same little song and dance. How every guy you did just try to get in your pants. Once they do, then they're through with you. But that's the only type of guy you ever give a chance to. Get bored when they're too nice, but you want a good man. Let me give you some advice, girl. What you do keeps coming back to you. Ain't nothing gonna change till you do. So she wants a man who'll take her by the hand, give her love, try to understand her. Think again, yo. Oh, I don't think so. No, I really, really don't think so. Says she wants a man who'll always treat her right, give her love, be there every night. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't think so. No, I really, really don't think so. It's just words. If you don't back it up with action, it's just words. You settle for less and you get what you deserve. It's words. If you don't back it up with action, it's just words. You settle for less and you get what you deserve. I can't believe that you come and tell me about a guy you went out with last night, who ain't treating you right, who's a third in a week on your bum loser street. I'm not weeping or crying, but damn am I dying. You don't recognize it's a man by your side who was always been there. I've been trying your tears, you can face all your fears and no love to the verse. The words you rehearse are just words. They're just words. They're just words.
Shut up.
It's just words. So she wants a man who'll take her by the hand, give her love, try to understand her. Think again, yo. Oh, I don't think so. No, I really, really don't think so. Says she wants a man who'll always treat her right, give her love, be there every night. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't think so. No, I really, really don't think so. It's just words. If If you don't back it up with action, it's just words. You settle for less and you get what you deserve, it's words. If you don't back it up with action, it's
Hello everybody and welcome back to the IvD Gaming versus LaG Gaming Clan War. I'm your host here, IvD Rob, and joining me here is LaG's very own Muatard. Muatard, we have Believe, who's so strong, took out APOC last game, Warbio in the first game, and spawning in the top right is the red Protoss against his opponent in the bottom left, who actually not really hasn't had a chance to show how good of a player he is. The blue Zerg in the bottom left, Jetrix representing IvD. So, what exactly? What are your thoughts here moving into this game?
Are you asking for predictions? Because I don't want to say.
I don't want to say.
I don't want to spoil. Jetrix is really good. He beats Warbio all the time. So, you know what? I definitely think he can take a game here.
It's possible. He might. I think it really depends here. Believe is just so strong in this series, though. Yeah, he was able to take out Warbio, but he was also able to take out APOC of all people. Very powerful player, and it's just absolutely surprising how good he actually is. So I'm excited to find out exactly where this is going to go, and it looks like Believe gonna run his scout up. Typical time here, as always. Nothing too special yet, and he is going to scout out that there is not even a spawning pool going down yet.
Yeah, I imagine that'll be down a little bit later. Jetrix there trying to kill that probe off with his drones. A little bit of a risky move, but if it pays off, it's usually pretty nice. It's not the worst thing ever. You just pull your probes out or your drones out for like a second or so. Not the worst thing ever. It looks like Believe is gonna go for a Nexus first here. That or like a 17 Forge. But I don't know, man. What are you thinking?
Honestly, I'm not completely sure, but looking at Jetrix here, he is going to have his base denied. He tried to sneak it around away from the probe, but Believe was just, he's like, no, man, you're not getting that base down. So there he goes. He is going to back off a little bit. That expansion is going to go down really late, actually, extremely late.
Yeah, and in the natural of Believe, he had a probe down there, and a drone just killed it. So, drones, Imba. That's all I gotta say, man. There it is, the Nexus first, and it's gonna be followed by a Forge right away.
Workers imbalanced. They need to remove him from the game, man.
Workers Imba. Too strong.
They need to remove him from the game, I'm telling you.
Yep.
Well, if they removed Workers from the game, everyone can be Grandmaster.
Yeah, and at the same time, no one can be Grandmaster. Because it's pretty much, you're just gonna be sitting there chrono boosting your Nexus / injecting your hatchery, and nothing's gonna come out.
You're not even gonna
Yeah,
bro.
that's true.
You're just gonna be chrono boosting your Nexus or calling down mules if you're Terran.
Yeah. You know what? It would have to be a game like Dawn of War, the sequel, 40k sequel, where it's like you don't actually have workers, you just spawn units and micro them.
Well, now, it does actually look like Jetrix is going to put down his third here. He actually has his third going up right now, and it's almost done. And this is actually a really good response to what Believe does. He does get up on those two bases pretty quickly. But the question is Jetrix going to... is he going to put pressure off of this three bases, or is he just going to macro up until he has complete economy, really good economy? And is Believe going to grab his third super early, which it looks like he might be doing the probe? Nope, just moving up there, I guess, to check to see if it was blocked or something. And immediately going to go towards the center of the map.
Yeah, I feel like a 5-minute third Nexus would be pretty greedy. Not quite as greedy as Jetrix, though. He actually went 3 hatch before pool. So even versus a Nexus first, that's super risky, as the Forge went down right after. He could have been cannon. That's not going to happen now. 4-lings are out on the way, and 3 queens all at once. This is not something you see ever.
It really isn't. It is a very interesting build here, and it's not very often that you would be able to get away with something like this, to be honest. These lings are going to chase off this probe, but, it's not a whole lot. I mean, even as it stands right now, Believe, who is actually going for a Stargate, absolutely amazing here. Not a bad start.
No, I definitely think this is a pretty good choice. Stargates are good on Well, I shouldn't say they're good. They're really safe. Is what I'm going for here. They're really powerful versus any kind of roach all in, and being that it was quick 3 hatch. You sometimes see Zergs be like, oh, since I got these 3 hatches so quickly, my economy will be good earlier, and I can just put pressure on because I'm going to have more drones than they think I should. So a Stargate's a good response to that. We do actually see a Roach Horn going down for Jetrix. I don't really think he's going to do that. I feel like it's just going to be speed into a lair, but it's always a possibility.
It definitely is, but now we have Phoenix coming out, so this is going to be some Phoenix pressure early on, not really looking towards that Void Ray, not looking to deal with the Roach, but here we have an Overlord going to give perfect vision of this. He knows exactly what is going on. He sees the Stargate, and it's going to be picked off by the Phoenix, but this is going to give him plenty of time to react to this. Jetrix has all the information he needs, and will believe he was able to see the 3rd base. He doesn't know about what's going on in the main right now, as now these Phoenixes are going to fly out here, and I guess that would make a good scout, but the Evo chambers going down, I don't know if they're going to be done in time.
Yeah, it should be pretty quickly here. I mean, there's only 2 Phoenixes right now, so not the most scary thing. As soon as these Evo chambers go down, I assume he's going to throw down 3s, 4s, 1 at each base. It's really not too scary until he gets to like 3 or 4 Phoenixes and they can actually kill queens really effectively. Actually, Believe there is going to use some of his energy on a drone. So not having that for queens means he might not be able to actually kill all of them right away, and even more energy on drones. So it looks like he just wants to damage worker economy instead of killing queens.
That's actually exactly what he needs to do here. These Phoenixes out so early. He is on 2 base to 3 base, so cutting off that economy as best he can is the best way to go about this. And now this Phoenix count is actually building up quite nicely here for Believe. This is going to be able to move in there at the natural. I don't think there are any spores up. Meanwhile, he is taking his 3rd, and Believe is going to be catching up in economy very soon here.
Yeah, like you're saying, he's taking that 3rd. Being that he took the 3rd really quickly like that instead of teching 1st, I kind of wish he had been killing queens, just so that he could, limit his opponent's production of larvae as opposed to just drones. You just remake drones, and it's not a big deal. You kill a queen and they miss an inject, it's 3 larvae potential or 4 larvae potentially that they're just not going to have. So now that he does kill that queen in the natural, it's going to be a lot harder for Jetrix to do any kind of big attack. I think he's actually just still on... Yeah, he's on 3 queens right now, so he did have 1 to replace the queen that was killed, but still, it kind of sucks. You can't spread as much creep, and you don't have as much presence on the map on that creep with that 4th queen.
Now here go the Phoenix getting into position again. It looks like they were wanting to go in here on the 3rd, but it wasn't quite going to happen. Going to fall back as the queens do get in position to deal with this. Roach is now coming out on the map for Jetrix. I don't know if this is a great idea because there are immortals on the map for Believe.
Yeah. And actually, going into an infestation pit as well right now, I wonder if that's just going to be for Hive Tech. I can't really... is he actually going to be building a lot of infestors, or is he just going to try to rush right to Broodlords? I've seen a Zerg try that before. I don't think it worked as well, just using the roaches as a buffer to get the Broodlords really quickly and then getting infestors after. I don't know. Let's see if he's going to try that. Actually, it looks like he might go for drops. Oh, no, that's speed.
That is Overlord speed, and Overlord speed, generally, I mean, it is nice to have with Phoenixes out on the map so you don't lose those Overlords and you can still keep map control. Very, very nice move, actually. But I really feel like drops would not be a bad idea in this if he was able to get up enough Overlords and enough roaches to do a drop inside the main or something. He can definitely get in like that. But now these Phoenixes are going to pick off quite a few roaches here from Jetrix. That is never a good thing. Losing units for energy, not a good trade at all for the person losing units here. As Believe, he's getting his economy up. He's actually, right now, he is catching up in worker count, but Jetrix grabbing that quick 4th there. Going to try and push his economy a little bit further. Both players looking towards the late game, but Believe doing such a good job of harassing with these Phoenix.
Yeah. 6 gateways are on the way right now for Believe, so he's going to be pressuring this Hive from Jetrix very quickly. There we see the Spire going down, and Pathogen Glands was researched, so I assume some infestors are going to be built relatively quick. Is that going to be after Greater Spire, though? I'm not sure. I would think that he'd want to build them right as soon as he could, but, that's his choice. Also, +2 ranged attacks ranged weapons and +2 carapace on the way here for Jetrix. You know what would be cool if he went for like that Hydra comp. It was like Queen Hydra Broodlord that Leenock did against. I think it was against a Terran, but that'd still be pretty powerful as far as I know against Protoss. That'd be awesome to see, just because this map is a lot easier to just push right into your opponent's base on than I think it was Whirlwind that build was done on by Leenock.
You know, I feel like that would not be a great decision out of Jetrix if he decided to do that, because really the Robo is already up for Believe, and Believe could easily transition to Colossus, which would really just destroy that composition. Hydra's usually not a good idea to go up against Protoss with them, mostly because of the Colossus transitions that Protoss could make. But it looks like this army is going to engage the army for Jetrix, and this battle going on here just outside of the fourth. Very nice force field, going to keep many units from moving in here, and more force fields going down, as now Believe has vision of these burrowed roaches, and he's just going to pick off all of them.
I mean, Believe's ahead in supply against a player who's going roaches. This is pretty tough for Jetrix. Not really a position you want to be in. Believe's, just like I was talking about, he's got a bunch of production that just finished, so he can do a big timing attack like he did versus Warbio. I keep doing that. Looks like mainly roaches are in production here for Jetrix, so he's going to need so many roaches to deal with this army. They do have really nice upgrades, though, I will say that.
Yes, they definitely do, but I don't think it'll be enough. I mean, with the Immortals, with the Blink Stalkers, and the Sentries, this is just such a strong army pushing now into Jetrix's third, and it looks like, I mean, the supply is catching up here for Jetrix, but it's not going to catch up fast enough. It's not going to be enough fast enough, as more roaches are going to be picked off in transition here to the natural, as it looks like more Overlords now going to be picked off. Roaches running by, attacking the third of Believe. Meanwhile, Believe just has such a strong force here. He doesn't even have to worry about this. He could just push right into the main, but it looks like that's not what he wants to do. He is going to pull back and deal with this threat at his own base.
I like this decision better. He's going to split up his army, as it is just so powerful compared to Jetrix's army. He's going to leave some Stalkers and Zealots behind. They're probably going to do a lot of damage here to the Zerg player, and he brings the brunt of his army home to deal with the bunch of roaches that Jetrix is using to attack this natural now.
And this roach count is actually not that bad, but right now, Believe still has the upper hand. Plus, great force field's gonna split off half of that army. Absolutely amazing force field placement, but the Observer is not with this army right now, and those roaches are gonna be able to burrow and heal. Meanwhile, at the natural of Jetrix, if we look over there, this army is somewhat cleaned up. Quite a bit of damage has been done to this army, but there's still not enough up for Jetrix, as this army is just too powerful. And there's the GG, well played from Jetrix. Believe takes his third victim in this best-of-9 series.
Yeah, you know, Jetrix even give him the heart there, so obviously no bad blood, man. So, yeah, you know, he's a pretty good player himself. I definitely thought he could take a game, but Believe just played so well that game. Going with that solid opening, just getting lots of scouting information, taking a quick third and defending it properly. Very, very nicely done by Believe.
Very nicely done indeed. Guys, don't go anywhere. Look on that overlay. You see all of those glorious names on the overlay, for both on the IvD side and on the LaG Gaming side. All of those, you should check them out. If you have any interest in supporting either of these groups, and we really hope you do, especially IvD, because we like to hold these tournaments for you guys, we like to hold these clan wars for you guys, and we like to hold show matches for you guys. So, follow us. Help us out. Be the great viewers that we know you can be. And don't go anywhere, as we'll have more games coming up here. LaG Gaming up 3-0. We'll be right back.
As I sit here alone, magic evil. What's my destiny? Will she ever come back to me? Magic evil. I'm desperate to see. What's your answer? What will it be? I ain't got that element of mystery. Might break think she dumped me cause I don't like to fight. I drink Bud Light every night and watch TV. Is she sleeping alone tonight? Cause she won't answer the phone. Or is some other guy holding her tight? As I sit here alone, magic 8 ball. What's my destiny? Will she ever come back to me? Magic 8 ball. I'm desperate to see. What's your answer? What will it be? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Shake it up, shake it up. Ask again later. Shake it up, shake, shake. Maybe I should. Shake it up. Will I ever date her? Shake it up, shake, shake.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the IvD Gaming versus LaG Gaming Clan War. I'm your host here, IvD Robin. Joining me here is LaG's very own Muatarin. Muatarin, believe, going after his 4th victim here. Is he gonna win? What do you think?
I think he will, just because I saw one of his PvPs I casted. I actually casted 2 of them. But the last game of LaG's latest Clan War was actually one of the best PvPs I've ever seen. He just beat a Protoss who was up by 50 supply by having insane positioning. So it's going to be tough for Word, but you know what? He's really good too.
You know, he actually is a really strong player who has been playing and casting for IvD, so really great guy. For those of you who don't know about him, he did the Word StarCraft or Word casting or something like that. Just such a great guy. He is actually a really great caster, and I think he's casted for some major tournaments as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was top 4. Yeah, top 4 of the IPL caster search. He's also going to be casting Assembly, the group stages, pretty soon. He casts a lot of like show matches and stuff for Clarity, so he's a really good caster, man, and I actually really love casting with him. He's probably my favorite.
He is definitely a great caster, but let's go ahead and introduce our players here. Spawning in the bottom right, he is, up to this point, invincible. Spawning is the red Protoss representing LaG Gaming. He is Believe. And spawning in the top left is the blue Protoss representing IvD. He is Word.
Yeah, from Team Clarity.
Oh, yeah, Clarity Word.
Clarity Word. Like he's talking about one of the casters here, and recently I used to cast with Beef a lot, and I've kind of switched over to Word, and apparently I was sold for a goat, 2 chickens, and a turnip. I was not consulted in this decision, but now I apparently Word owns me.
Dude, really? He could have gotten so much. He could have gotten so much more for that, really.
I know, right? And apparently there was also half a baked potato.
Oh, well, okay, that makes it worth it.
Yeah. Sadly, there was no sour cream or chives or anything with it. I think a little bit of salt was added, but, none of that stuff that you really, really want with a baked potato, so sadly I guess I'm not worth that much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I got over it.
I would not spend any more on you, to be honest.
No?
No.
Yeah, I think Word thinks City overpaid.
I don't know what his take on it, but I wouldn't spend more because I don't have more, so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got the goat and chickens and the turnip?
I do.
Nice. You know what? Maybe you can buy me off him someday.
Alright, well, we do have a probe poking in for Believe. Not actually poking into Believe's base, rather.
Yeah, there you
poking
go.
into Believe's base here for Word. Word is going to see what is going on. He did see the Zealot that did come out, and he was able to get an idea of what his opponent was up to. I don't think he actually saw the 2 gases, though. And now with the 2 Zealots and the probe moving across the map here for Believe, making their way to Word's base.
Word is in some trouble. He's going Stargate here, and he doesn't realize that a monstrous amount of pressure is about to come up his ramp. It's going to be so hard. 2 gateways are about to finish. Warp gate is, it's about maybe 4/5 done, 3/4. It's around there. And these 2 zealots, alone are going to do some pressure. with 3 gates with the warp-ins, it's going to be so rough on Word.
Oh, here goes the two.
Oh, no.
So it's coming up, but the force field didn't go down, and no, that force field was not perfectly placed. As Zealot is now in the main, a probe on, not a probe, but rather a pylon on the low ground, going to allow him to warp in directly into the main probes being pulled now for Word, as this is looking so hard to deal with already. We are 5.5 minutes into the game, now 3 Stalkers being warped in, probes being killed off, and Believe in such a good position.
Yeah, you know, he's got 3 Stalkers warping in. Word has 1 gateway. His warp gate's not quite done yet. Believe has been chrono boosting his so much. Word saying, well, I played better, GG. And yeah, this is a bit of a quick one, man. Bit of a quickie.
Hey, man, even if it's a quickie.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's bad.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. It just means that we want more of it.
Yeah.
It's now Believe is up 4-0. He has almost all killed IvD at this point.
Yeah, man. He's on a bit of a roll here. Definitely a very powerful player. Do you think anyone can stop him? I know who's going to come out next. Do you think he can do it?
You know, I don't know.
You know what? I think he can. I believe.
You believe in him.
Yes. So I guess why don't you plug, man? I think that's all I got, man.
You know, I will plug. I will plug.
It.
Everything on your screen right now. Check it out. Follow it. Do what you want with it. Support IvD because we love you. Give back some love. You wouldn't
share the love.
You wouldn't tell your mother who loves you so much to go away. You wouldn't ignore your mother, so don't ignore us because we love you as much.
Came home and sat at my piano. Poured myself a glass of Cabernet. Armory still lingering on my jacket. I thought I had so much I wanted to say. She may not see that we belong together. Or maybe it was just because she was too afraid. So I dimmed the lights and searched for inspiration. And thought, when she hears this, I'm gonna have it made. I tried to write some words to win her over. Look deep inside myself to find that clever phrase. Blank paper, speak to me, 'cause I've got nothing cool to say. Lemon pie, tangerine. Yeah. Tangerine. Countless nights I spent at Ben's piano, pouring out my heart onto the page, sculpting lines that conjure up emotion, to make you feel my love, a taste of my rage. It wasn't this hard when I wrote that song about Leah, or the one about Rachel, Amy, Heather, or Jane. I knew I could feel something real, and one good line would have helped me find it. Then I'd reel it in with the big refrain. I tried to write some words to win her over. Look deep inside myself to find that clever phrase. Blank paper, speak to me, 'cause I've got nothing cool to say. Lemon pie, tangerine. Tangerine. Tried to write some words to win her over. Look deep inside myself to find that clever phrase. Blank paper, speak to me, 'cause I've got nothing good to say. Lemon pie. Tangerine. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is game number 5, possibly the final game, because Believe is so powerful. In the IvD Gaming versus LaG Gaming Clan Wars, I'm your host here, IvD Rob, and joining me here is LaG Gaming's very own Muatarn. Of course, he does cast for IvD as well. Muatarn,
Yeah. What's up, dude?
what is up?
Believe is really good.
Obviously.
Yeah, I actually have. I'm getting a replay of him playing Scarlet. Apparently, he wins that, so I'm pretty excited. Or at least he does well.
Wait, hold on. Does he win or does he do well?
I don't know.
There's a
I don't know. Lizard just said it was a really good game, so I can't say, man.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and introduce our players here. Spawning in the bottom left is the Blue Zerg, representing IvD. He is IvD's last hope, Fission. And his opponent in the top left, who has already killed off 4 amazing players. And he's going for his 5th. Is he going to win, or is he going to finally fall? He is the Red Protoss, LaG's very own Believe.
Yeah, and this guy is like old school leg too. He's got TT in his clan tag there. Back when, I think this was over a year ago, leg was sponsored by TT, but that, was before it reformed for the first time, and then it reformed again after. That's the new leg. So, like I was saying, man, him and Lizard are super old school. That's why they had the TT in their little gamer tag. There we go.
Wow.
A little bit of history.
Well, that little bit of history indeed. IvD doesn't quite have that history yet. Forming not too long ago. However, Fission, our player here, Fission for IvD, is, believe it or not, an active United States Navy
Member?
personnel, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, personnel sounds better.
He actually works on nuclear subs, which is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
And still somehow manages to find time for StarCraft and for IvD. Such an amazing guy. Such a contribution.
Yeah, and I guess his name makes quite a bit of sense here, being Fission. Definitely a good call there, man.
Yeah, fission as opposed to fusion.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
cold fusion.
Well,
That'd be cool, though.
Well, dude, fission and fusion are both nuclear reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you know that instead of not knowing that.
Yeah,
that
I
would be bad
went
if
to
you did.
university too.
See, because that's something to keep note of.
Yeah,
Fission and
it's very
fusion are
important.
both nuclear reactions. For those who don't know that. But now this drone here for Fission is going to scout out quite a little bit here. So it looks like he is going to tell that Believe is either doing a gate, like some kind of gateway expand. Possibly a gateway expand. He does have the pylon down here at the base. And actually, yes, it is going to be a big gateway expand. But as far as Fission knows, he could also be doing some kind of one base pressure. So right now, Fission not in, I guess, not in the best position as far as knowledge goes of what's going on right now. We'll have to see how he reacts. He is sending out 4 links pretty early here as a Zealot being sent out from Believe. They are going to meet in the middle here. Oh, there they go. They are going to fight. One of the Zerglings is going to be killed as there goes the Micro pulling the Zealot back to the Stalker. And now there's going to be some Zealot Stalker pressure.
Yeah, and you're during this taking his natural, just being standard. This is really similar to what Rain used to do, although as opposed to the Sentry that's coming out, he would have made a second Stalker and just pressured even more with that. I kind of wish that you know, Believe would do something like that. That's just really fun style to watch. So aggressive. You're just attacking. Looks like the Zealot's going to get picked off, however. That kind of sucks for Believe.
Oh, but the Stalker is going to make its way into the natural. This is going to give Believe exactly what he needs scouting-wise. He knows that his opponent has expanded, and he could lose the Stalker here. He is going to lose the Stalker here with that perfect surround here from Vision, but the scouting's already been done.
Yeah, and you know what? Vision here is making 12 more lings. Looks like he wants to get really aggressive here. Speed is going to finish. I think he's just going to be straight-up speedling all in. Let's check out Believe's wall here. It looks like it is a full wall. So with the sentry behind it, he should have an okay shot at stopping this. The Baneley Nest is also going down now for Vision. He's going to be putting on a lot of aggression.
But see, Believe does not actually need to worry about this wall. He does not need to worry about not being able to get out of his base. He is going to be able to defend this with it, and he has a forward pylon here at the southernmost point of the map here in the 6 o'clock position. He is in a pretty good spot here in this game, but now these lings were finally able to get one of the pylons down. The second pylon almost fell. That would have been Vision's last hope, really.
You know, Vision's actually doing a lot of damage here. He's losing a lot of lings to do it, but with all this speed, he's actually has a good shot at getting into the space here. However, warping in so many sentries, Believe he's just, you know, adding to his wall with more pylons and warping in sentries. I think he's still got a pretty solid shot at holding this, but a Baneley Bust is still so powerful.
Oh wow, this is going to fall here as more lings are running in, and one of the gateways falls, and the pylon as well, but now another gateway that has been built, and very nice force fields are going to keep a lot of those lings from doing anything at all.
Yeah. He's just going to kill all the Zerglings. It's like you can't build Banelings if you don't have any Zerglings. Vision's in a rough spot here. If he hadn't lost so many lings just trying to take down this wall, he'd be in a much better position. As is, he's at 14 drones and only 18 Zerglings. Yeah, he's got some gas for Banelings, but it really hurt when that force field went down and just trapped those lings in the sentry range.
Well, there goes the gateway, gonna fall again. Another force field gonna go down to keep those lings from running in. But already, so many gateways have been killed off here. There's only 2 operational warp gates and 1 gateway that has not been transformed at this point.
Yeah, you know, he has, like you said, killing those gateways, so he's limiting his opponent's reduction, which is a really nice thing to do when you're going to go for a Baneley net, or a Baneley bust, excuse me. Looks like Vision's actually given up on that, though. He's just starting to make drones, and not really many lings are out on the map. Well, 17, but no Banelings yet.
There, you know, it does look like he is wanting to macro. He did pull a drone off to try and expand, but that was blocked by a random zealot. Not really a random zealot, just a zealot there from Believe that is going to keep that expansion from going down. That is the same zealot that he almost killed earlier, but it did get away. So that actually working out quite nicely for Believe, as now a robotics facility is up and an immortal on the way.
It's Soul Train, man. He's got the Immortal on the way, like he's talking about. He's got some gates already done, and 4 gateways are on the main going up right now. And with that forward pylon, he'll have a way to warp in and then use his warp prism for micro. I expect he's going to bring another probe and try to get one that's a little closer. But this is already looking so good here for Believe. This build is powerful when you're not really ahead of your opponent, but you know, with that failed Baneley bust, he's already got quite an advantage here. I just don't know if Vision's going to be able to hold this.
I actually do not think he is going to be able to, because he is actually building up a lot of macro at this point. Whereas Believe already has his economy going, and now he's going to start pushing out.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to wait for the 3rd Immortal, or like wall off, make the Warp Prism, and then bring the Immortal with it. You know, either one, I guess, is fine. If you want to hit a little bit earlier, this is, you know, moving out right now is completely okay. I've seen Partying do that before. Believe warping in a bunch of units at home. I think he's got 6 gateways that are operational. Let me just check here. Yeah, so 6 gateways that are already producing. 7, actually, sorry. That's just so many.
Oh, but that pylon placement, he does completely wall off the base, and Immortal going to be stuck behind a little bit, but that's alright. Canceling that off.
Yeah.
Vision, just, look at him. He's just got so many units already pushing his way towards Vision right now. Believe in such a good position. As now, Spine Crawlers are going up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He has only a few lings and Spine Crawlers. Ooh. This is looking very, very deadly for Vision.
I just don't know if this is going to be enough. This ling counter is going to be really useful, actually. There are no cannons made at home, so Believe having to leave some units there. Gonna pick up the sentries and 2 of the stalkers. Now Believe looks like he must go into the 3rd and kill that off. No, he's gonna go save his pylons that are being attacked by Zerglings. That's a good choice.
That definitely is. You don't want to lose your main source of reinforcements, as it looks like these Lings are going to come back from here. They are going to spot this other pylon and start picking off some of the other units, but there's enough here to force these Lings to back.
Yeah. You know, I like that the choice to go for this build is very powerful, and these Zerglings are trying to kill this army off, but they just can't. But when you do this, you want to work with more Zealots than Stalkers. I was talking to a different one of the LaG players, and he's saying, you know what? You know, this build's really good, but you gotta do it right, and you gotta make Zealots to buffer those Lings. There is a good engagement going on here right now for Believe. Some Zerglings just kind of being foamed in really low numbers at the time, just being killed off by these units. The Queens are now force fielded. Looks like the Immortals are just gonna target them down. There's actually none left. The Spinecrawler's dead. I think this is it, man.
I think this is too. Drones being pulled to deal with this. Ha ha. GG, says Vision.
There we go, man.
Believe successfully all kills IvD in the IvD versus LaG Gaming clan war.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of overcame IvD in the first 2 matches. Obviously, Warbio and APOC were the best 2 players here. The rest of the players all had a chance if, you know, they get a really good build order.